morning, good morning, good morning. This is your Coach Renz, and I'm gonna give a few minutes to let a couple of people get on here. Because today, on my drive in, we're gonna talk about this whole September 23rd and all the hoopla that's going on around the September 23rd time frame. I just had to making some deliveries, picking up some supplies. So this live video is gonna last about 30 minutes, and then it'll be over. There's a big mosquito in my car from the last place I just stopped at, but it's okay. But we're gonna talk about this September 23rd. Hey, how you guys doing? You know, let me know who you are when you come in. Let me know who you are. Hey, good morning, Lillian. How you doing, young lady? So we're gonna talk about this September 23rd deal and what's going on. Because I only got about 30 minutes, I don't want to take too much time waiting for other people to get on there. Yeah, it's already tomorrow in some places. Exactly, right? It's already. So, and the reason why people are saying that, good morning, Caleb. The reason why people are saying that is because this is supposedly the rapture, right? That's what a lot of people are coming out and they're talking about. It's going to be the rapture, the end of the world, that sort of thing. But it's already September 23rd on the other side of the planet right now. You know, Australia is already September 23rd. So is Asia and India. They're already September 23rd. Africa, Europe, they're already, well, Europe is getting ready to go into it. So September 23rd, it's ADD Alchemy. September 23rd is already is already happening in some places, but yet we're not hearing stories of rapture. But the mind of people is that where they are is where everything happens. Like America, like you watch our movies and everything happens based in America. So of course, if there's going to be a rapture, it can't happen until America gets to September 23rd, the night of September 23rd, and then it can happen. Now, some people are like, well, the last places on earth have to be in September 23rd, then the rapture can happen. But thank you. Good morning, good morning. But of course, if the last places on earth have to be in the September 23rd, then that means that other places are already September 24th. So that's the stupid part. And then their own book says that nobody will know the time. Yes, it gives them signs to look up into the stars, which I don't understand why they're not into astrology, but it gives them signs. And what the September 23rd is, it's an alignment of planets and the moon. The sun is in Virgo. The moon will be in the womb area of Virgo tonight. And then the Leo, and then Leo will be in an alignment where it will now have 12 points to it, and Jupiter will be in Virgo. So it's an astrological alignment that's going on. And that's where they're trying to marry that up to a scripture in Revelation. I believe it's Revelation 22. To say that this is going to be the end of the world. But if you think about people who said this, they've always said that at every point something is the end of the world. They talk about, oh, look at all these hurricanes that we're having. The earth has been having hurricanes since the earth was created. Wind patterns create hurricanes. Current water patterns create hurricanes. And I know some people are not going to like this part, but African ancestry is not creating the hurricanes because the hurricanes were being created before the transatlantic slave trade. So we can't use those things either. That it's the African ancestry, because you have to understand, if you were a person who sailed ships back in those days, and you would coming from Africa to America, that's the strongest wind current that will get you right up into the Caribbean. So of course, the African slave trade happened along the same course of hurricanes, because you have a better wind, and if you're using sails to get across the Atlantic, that's going to be your best option. That's smart. That's smart. So the hurricane has nothing to do with African ancestry either, you know. So we need to stop that. But what we can do, because I told you I'm running, I gotta go, I'm going to a meeting. What we can do is recognize what this planetary alignment can do and be of benefit to us. one of the things I decided that I'm going to do is start speaking. You're welcome. You're welcome. One of the things I'm going to start doing is start speaking more on my spirituality and what I believe, more on my spirituality and what can help people who are of like mind. Because if you're not of like mind, I have nothing against you. Just, you know, you do what you do, right? So this alignment, there are portals of energy, there are vortexes of energy that occur throughout the universe, throughout the galaxy. And being spiritual beings that can work in different dimensional planes, we can take advantage of those things to manifest things or release things in this third dimensional plane. This is what the whole thing about the tree of life and chakras and Kabbalah and the Hopi Indian texts, all these things coincide with this. For those who know me and Kevin Wesley, they correlate. No, I was just playing. All these things can coincide, and we can utilize this if we get our the right spiritual form, right? We need an application for all the good input. Yeah. And I'm going to give you an application. So with this spiritual alignment, this is the Virgo, the Virgin, with the energy, the reflection of the sun, the energy of the moon in the womb, with the king planet Jupiter and Leo, the king, right above her. So in that alignment, so the Virgin is birthing something. Now, most cultures understand that September is a time frame for birthing something, for planning, for getting ready. I want you to think about something. I'm not saying that the government knows this, but I believe they do. But I want you to think about something that the government does. The government budgetary system, the government's beginning and end is in September. When I was in the Marine Corps and I was a financial fraud investigator and a budget analyst in the Marine Corps, that was one of my titles. But every year in September, you had two things happen. The first thing that happens is that it's the end of the fiscal year. The government comes to an end in September, at the end of September. But at the same time in September, all your plans for the year have to be inputted, have to be turned in and organized. As a matter of fact, most major units are meeting this month to turn in their budgets, turn in their plan, turn in their readiness reports, and turn in what they need to do in order to be wartime ready for the next year. Right? Yes, I do know about twin flames. I'm going to talk about that when I do a more relationship video as I'm working on my book. But so this is a time, September is a time for planning something, for planning your next year. We're just entered the phases after the new moon. The new moon is always about growing. If you talk to any farmer, any gardener, or you consult an almanac, they will tell you that you plant your crops, you plant your flowers, you grow during a new moon into a growing moon, a waxing moon, never doing a waning moon do you plant, right? So, and you know, my father-in-law who had passed on from this existence to the next, he was big time about not planting during a waxing moon. You plant during a growing moon, as he would say. So we are in that stage. We're a couple of days off of the new moon. Last night was the first degrees of a crescent moon. So it's a growing moon. And since the moon is in Virgo, the Virgin, and birthing with the king planet Jupiter, then this is an amazing time for you to begin to grow something. But you have to grow something, plan for that growth, and wholeheartedly believe in it. And I want to give you guys something you can do to help you get your mind there. This is rituals and spells and things like that are designed to get you mentally, physically, and spiritually in the right energy pattern, the right vibration, the right frequency, to be able to pull from this birthing energy that's going on right now, from today up until October 5th. October 5th is the full moon, so October 5th, you need to have this done before then. The sooner the better. So, thank you, about planting. Exactly. She's a gardener, she's a planner, she knows. So, I want you guys to consider taking a spiritual cleansing bath, but with a meditation on implementing and growing something that you believe and that you want to have in your life, something that you want to grow in your life. It doesn't always have to be money. It doesn't always have to be love and relationship. It could be anything. It could be your health. It could be your work ethics. It could be your mindset. It could be the growth of a child, the growth of a family relationship. It could be the growth of anything. You got to recognize that we are broad creatures. You can grow anything that you want. It could be the growth of your spiritualism so that you can be in more contact with your ancestors, be in more contact with spiritual entities, you know, that are on other dimensional planes. But this spiritual bath, there are different ways to do it. Different people can give you different methods, but this is the one that I did last night, and this is why I wanted to share this with you guys, because this is what I did last night. So last night I took a spiritual bath with a meditation focused on growth and planning, and I got a lot to grow and plan over this next 12 months, and also because I got an offer from somebody that could cause me to move back to Germany. But here's the thing: run a bath, nice, whatever warm temperature that you can stand, that's good for you. But you run a bath, put in some Epsom salt. If you got lavender, put lavender in it. Also, two tablespoons of apple cider vinegar with the mother. And if you work with crystals or stones, get crystals or stones that you connect to that hold that hold. I use I can never say the word right, but it's terpentine, I think I'm saying it wrong, but terpentine stones. I also had my Ankh that represents everlasting life and the resurgence of energy, and I had copper, and these were on the base of the tub, but I had copper elements, and I had other stones, and I had my cauldron, and I use a cauldron for burning things, and I had my cauldron, but cauldrons hold energy. Oh, you guys can't hear me? I know, I broke one of the windows in my car and it won't come down, it won't go back up. So I hope, so what was the last thing you guys heard? If anybody can tell me the last thing they heard. Okay, you can hear me fine? Okay, so, but I put elements along the base of the tub that hold energy, all right? As long as it hold energy. Think about when people go camping, they put stones around the fire because the stones will hold the heat. So, you know, crystals, stones, objects that hold energy. Now, if you are focusing on business or money, you know, if you work with ancestry money, put some of that on the tub. If you put some real money on the tub, put your checkbook, your card, credit, your debit cards, put that on the tub. I went by my bank and I scooped up some dirt from my bank and I put it inside my cauldron, you know, because the bank got the money, so I'm putting the dirt from the bank with me. I'm getting that dirt and empowering that. These are all representations. These are all things that can hold energy and that I'm putting energy into. Now, the thing about sitting in the tub and soaking with your candles and your meditations. Oh, and the last thing is that I started playing. I played a 528 hertz solfeggio tunes. The 528 is the resonance of the earth. When the earth is, you got 432 and 528. When the earth is resonating and when the earth is healing and growing, it works on 432 and 528 megahertz. That's what every living thing vibrates at when it's growing, healing on the earth. So I played that solfeggio tunes while I was soaking, and I was meditating and speaking to the water. Recognize that your body is anywhere from, depending on the organ, anywhere from 50 to 70% water. So with that, I wanted to connect to the water. I wanted the water in the tub with all the elements to connect to the water in my body, because as the Taoists would tell you, water holds memory, water holds energy. And if you're composed of mostly water, then whatever you connect to that water, it's going to hold your energy and it's going to hold that thought. So as I meditated, I spoke to the water as to what I'm looking to implement, what I'm looking to grow, what I want planted in my life, in my spiritual life. My daughter has some things that she's looking at that I'll be discussing with her on Sunday. And you know, I put emphasis and energy into what my oldest daughter, is looking at bringing forward into her life. Now, mind you, this is only during a growing moon. You can repeat this process during the full moon and after, but that is a time frame of releasing, not a time of growing. So in this meditation, in this spiritual bath cleansing that you would do, don't release nothing. This is not, oh, I want to release debt out of my life. I want to release ill-fated relationships out of my life, or I want to release bad health or bad habits. This is not a releasing. You have to do that during the full moon and after the full moon in a waxing moon. A waning moon, not a waxing moon. This is a growth time frame. So I want you guys to focus on that. Take that opportunity, take that time to do it. And it'll also help cleanse your chakras. Whether you understand or believe in chakras or not, it doesn't really matter, because they're real. They're there. Thank you, Lillian. They're there. I was just at my chiropractor's yesterday, and I was getting an adjustment because I knew I was going to be taking this spiritual bath. Along your spinal column is where your chakras are. But when you go medically, Western medicine, a chiropractor will show you, hopefully you'll record this and put it on YouTube. This is automatically on YouTube, and it'll be on YouTube automatically, Troy, and I won't delete it. But when you go to a chiropractor, they'll show you that along your spinal column, it connects to different nerves and different organs. Well, the nerves connect to different organs, but electrical pathways are shot from your spine to let your body know what's going on, or when it's in distress. And that's why you have back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, that sort of thing. Your body's letting you know. But when your chakras are out of alignment, that electrical energy is not being shot through your organs, shot to your organs correctly. The communication is not happening. And they don't know why our bodies work on electricity. They don't know the battery. They don't know where it starts. But this is why we understand the chakra system and this connection to the earth, because the earth also has a chakra system within itself as well. So we want to be able to, so I went to the chiropractor because I wanted to make sure that everything was, my physical body was in alignment, so that when I worked on my spiritual body last night in this spiritual bath and meditation, that my spiritual body would also be in alignment. It's about connecting the two. It's not about, you know, some people would think or teach that you got to separate the two, but you're not. As long as you're in this third dimensional plane, you're not going to be separated. So we align the physical body so that we can align the spiritual body as well and get the most out of getting our chakras to spin correctly. Because your heart chakra is the massive spin, with your third eye chakra spinning and your sacral chakra spinning. Those three combined together are your biggest manifestation energies. So yes, and that and yoga as well. That is what yoga is good for as well. I do have to do better with my yoga. I'm not doing as well as I should be, and it's really just about me lying to myself about time. I don't make excuses, just lies about my time. So you know, but if you do that, and doing yoga is great too, because I will be going to a yoga class tonight. I'm going to a yoga class as I get ready for tomorrow night. And tomorrow night there's a park that's near where I live, and I'll be going to that park. It has a fountain. So it has a fountain, it has water. The moon sets and the moonlight walks on the water right to the spot where I'll be sitting, right on the land, and I can touch the earth, you know. Do I sell any stones or crystals? I don't, and it's so funny you asked that question, because I was just consulting with someone yesterday about doing just that, about working and, you know, setting up an e-commerce store to sell stones and crystals. And you got to understand me as far as the business goes. I do my research. I get things in line to make sure that, you know, I've measured twice and I only cut once. In my past, I used to just go out and just do stuff half-heartedly, and it come out like crap, or I gotta make up ground, or I gotta rebuild the reputation. So I've been consulting with them for the last couple of weeks, but that's coming next. Me and my best friend are gonna do the same thing. Yes, and you should. But crystal work and stone work is very important to your spiritual life, because they hold energy for you. And sometimes, if you saw well, no, you guys are not on my Instagram. I just realized that most of you guys are not on my Instagram and you're not on my Facebook. But I shot a short video yesterday and talked about energy vampires, and how there are people out there, and whether they know it or not, they are sucking away your energy. They're taking the energy out of you. And I just went through a 2-week time frame. You're a crystal junkie. I'm about to be a crystal junkie. But people will separate and take your energy, whether they know it or not. And I just went through 2 weeks of helping people in such a degree that it took a lot of my energy away, tons of my energy away. And I had to go, and I spent like a lot of time holding on to my copper ankh with the stones embedded inside of it, and meditating with other stones around me. And I do have some, I got some quartz, and I had that. And at my place of business, at my store that I own, I held on to, I have a big amethyst in there, and so I was doing that. And I have a ancestry altar, and I spend a lot of time meditating on my ancestry altar. Nori asks, does anyone know someone who does or recommend, I guess, a place that she can get some stones and crystals? Where are you, Nori? Miss Jackson, if you, no, I just playing. Where are you? I mean, because I know a place here in Atlanta, in the metro Atlanta area, where you can get crystals and stones and things like that. Oh, she's in Miami, Florida. Oh, I'm glad that you're okay down there in Miami. Hopefully your possessions, your material possessions, are okay as well. But your life is more important. I don't know where you can find it in Miami. I would just say do a Google search. If you do a Google search, you should be able to find a shop that you can go to. And yes, and like Dee Dee's Alchemy says, you know, feel the energy, you know, of the shop. We have one here in Atlanta that I like to go to. There's 2 places in Atlanta, really, that I've been to. Oh, who's in Miami? I'm reading the wrong person. Oh, Dee Dee's in Miami. I was supposed to be in Miami at the end of this month, but I'm not sure if the event that I was supposed to go to is still going to happen at the end of this month in Miami. So I don't know. Actually, I got to find that out too. One of my spiritual coaches is in Fort Lauderdale, and I was supposed to go down there for an event for her, but we'll see. I don't know. Well, she hasn't said anything about it being back on, so I don't know. Philadelphia, but yeah, just do a search. Just do a search in your city. Like, I go to a place called Phoenix and Dragon here, and I mean, I love that place. The energy is good. The only thing I don't like is they got cats in there, and I'm allergic to cats. There you go. See, Miss Middleton said that they go connect with them and they got some. And I will be doing a store soon, but right now my focus is on, I'm having my book written. I'm writing my book about relationships and how you find your divine soulmate by going from the bottom to the top of the chakra system, and then from the top back down, and adding in some alchemy and things like that as to finding your divine soulmate. There will be chapters in there about twin flames as well, and how that relates to it. But I wanted to really take this time to give you guys, I know there's a lot of hoopla from other people about this September 23rd, but for the spiritual community, I want you to understand and know that this is a time that you can do some massive law of attraction manifestation, working with your chakras and bringing in this astral energy, you know, that is going to be in alignment on tomorrow night, you know. So I want you to be able to get your, remember, as above. Hey, yes, Alex, I've been meaning to contact you, and I will today. But I want you guys to be able to get your energies in line so that you're, you know, in line with the universe. I had Josh put on my Facebook, he found this video where it shows how you, as you leave the earth and go into the universe, and how it all looks, and then when you come back down and go into the eye of the person, that how it looks the same, that we are a microcosm of the macrocosm. So as above, so below, basically. So as we get our spiritual centers in alignment, and with the planets get into alignment, the galaxies, the universe get into a certain alignments, certain vortexes and opportunities of energy open themselves and avail themselves up to you, for you to be able to do work on different dimensional planes. Now, I said only talking about working on this third dimensional plane, but there are some things that I will be doing that are more fifth and seventh dimensional work. So I want you guys to be able to, you know, get yourself in that kind of alignment. Like I said, that's why I went to a chiropractor yesterday to get so that my spinal column is firing correctly. He's sick of the third. Don't be sick of the third dimension. Every dimensional plane has great things for us to be able to learn and work with. And, you know, I know some people look at soul points. Depending upon where you are in your soul point, you know, you can do a lot in this third dimensional plane. I said I'm looking to work in the fifth and seventh dimensional plane, because when you look at soul point, basically soul point is that your soul exists for a certain millions of years, and you are incarnate in different soul points of your life, and you have what you have at different soul points. But that's on a linear line. Working in the fifth dimensional plane or the seventh dimensional plane is about bending that time so that you can access, or how some say, the Akashic record. You can access your understandings, your ancestry, your past previous lives, or your future lives within at any point, because you bend and fold the space and time of your soul points, of your soul time. So that's something that I'll be working on. That is something that unless you build yourself up, don't mess with that, please. Yeah, so don't mess with it. Just grow yourself. It's just like anything. Grow yourself. You know, when I talk about Tantra, when I talk about chakras, these are things I've been studying for about 30 plus years, and I made a lot of mistakes early on, thinking that I can just jump into high points. But it's like, no, you have to grow and increase your frequencies, your vibration, get deeper understanding as you grow. And, you know, so that's why I want you guys to, oh, I'm sorry your feed is going in and out, but I'm stationary right now. I'm about to go into this meeting. I'm not late. I'm about to be late, but I want you guys to be able to take that spiritual bath. And do you provide coaching, or can you actually, I do provide coaching. I do a lot of spiritual coaching and business coaching and life coaching. So you can just contact me on my Facebook page, which is Coach Renz, with Facebook, Coach Renz 33, or you can contact me through my leave your email. Well, I don't want you to leave your email. I don't want people just emailing you, but my email is masteringyou, the number 10 at Gmail. So that's mastering, MASTERING YOU 10 at gmail.com. And we can set that up, because most of my coaching, most of the people I coach don't live here in Atlanta, and we Skype. And trust me, if you were my client, if one of my clients was on here, well, they are, but they would tell you, I send you homework, I give you homework, there's a lot of information, I check up on you, I make sure that you're getting things handled and take care of, and the coaching is really based on you. It's not based on what I want you to have, it's based on what you need, right? So, oh cool, you're starting your transportation business. That is awesome. I'm coaching two of my sisters started a transportation business. I'm coaching them right now on that as well. But if you desire spiritual coaching, I'm meeting with one. Actually, I have one spiritual coaching client who's here in Atlanta, and we're meeting tomorrow. She doesn't know it, but I'm going to use the pool table as a visual for her spiritual coaching tomorrow evening. So, I like to use a lot of things, and don't get me talking about trees, because spiritual coaching and understanding trees is a very amazing thing. So, but I got to go in here to this meeting, guys. I really appreciate you taking this time. I want you guys to listen to this again and again so that you can take your spiritual bath tonight and get your body ready in alignment for abundance and planning. This is a growing moon. So what you want built to build, do it now. This is one reason, like the power of Thursday. Thursday is a very powerful day in the week. This is why movies are released on Thursdays. They like to release them on Thursdays or midnight on Thursday. They have that first preview on Thursday. They like to release them during this time frame. A lot of movies will be released during a growing moon, and less movies are released during a waxing moon. So people know these things. So I want you guys to know these things. But even if you dig into a lot of these movies, they'll start shooting a movie on a growing moon. I was just at another meeting that I left, where there's a documentary film being shot, and they just started yesterday, and they've waited until this time frame to start shooting this movie. And basically I was there providing spiritual advisement on just that very thing. So you guys have a great day. Enjoy yourself. I appreciate you being on here. This will be on my YouTube, so it will be posted so you can review it. And please share it. And you'll see, visit me on my Patreon, or contact me through email if you want to work with me, and that'd be an awesome thing, because I love working with people. So y'all have a great day.